Hey there, altcoin hunters. Phil, head of research at Moralis here, and I'm excited to bring you my very first Moralis Money altcoin monitoring strategy video. This is all about monitoring specific parameters across multiple networks and setting up alerts in order to easily capture the biggest thing that's going on related to your strategy. Let's take a look together and see how we can do this today. We're going to begin over at moralismoney.com with our wallet connected as we see here. Now, our focus area in this tutorial is going to be the alerts that will later appear on the main page here. Our first stop is the Token Explorer, where we can set up our first saved query. Here we'll select two different metrics to get started. First, we want to specifically target in our strategy tokens that have not grown beyond a $50 million market cap, specified as so. Next, we're looking for coins that have an increased number of experienced buyers. The reason why we're using the experienced buyers category is in order to avoid any automated distributions or other methods of faking buyers. And we want this amount to have increased by at least 100 people today. Let's go ahead and run the query. So here we have a few different options. But notice the low security scores. Let's add in one more parameter in order to limit our results even further. Here we'll select security score greater than 75 and then run the query again. Now we have a much more digestible list of only 16 assets. But what if something else appears on this list? How would we know without continually checking this query throughout the day? Well, luckily there is a way. So first we need to save our query. Selecting save asks us to specify a name. We'll call this one low cap 100 buyers today. And then Ethereum in parentheses. Selecting save query. Now returning to our dashboard by clicking the Moralis Money icon at the top, we can scroll down and see it under our saved queries. Now this isn't enough for us because we also want to see if this same type of asset pops up across other networks. To do this, we return to the Token Explorer and then selecting a new network, define the same metrics as we used before. Market cap less than 50 million, experienced buyers increased by at least 100 today, and finally applying our same security score with the metric greater than 75, and then running the query. Here we can see that on Polygon, the list is much shorter. We'll save this query as well, using the same name, low cap 100 buyers today, Polygon, and save query. Now we have two alerts established, but we're not done yet. In order to improve this even further, we can set up alerts along each of these parameters, selecting the alert button and then specifying an email address, like so, and then selecting how often we want to receive alerts. We'll specify once every 4 hours, and then click Start Monitoring. We can do the same thing for our other query. Notice that our email address in this case is pre-populated, and we select Start Monitoring. As alerts begin to populate, we can see them arrive in our email as so. You might choose to create a brand new email address only for your Moralis Money alerts. This allows you to check daily to see what alerts have been triggered and prompted an email to this address. Okay, so far we've established two separate queries on two separate networks, but with similar parameters. We've also set up alerts in order to receive emails whenever a new coin appears in either of those categories. There's more we can do though. Because the behavior of Ethereum and Polygon is a little bit different, we can now modify these alerts to be specific to the network they refer to, while maintaining our initial alert categories as well. Let's take a look at how we expand this together to make an even more complex and efficient alert system. This time returning to the Token Explorer, we'll select market cap like before, and again 50 million. However, this time we're going to increase the number of experienced buyers. The reason for that is that on Ethereum, we're likely to see more experienced buyers in general. And we want to make sure that when a token appears on our alerts, especially under the more defined category, that it really is something we're interested in. In this case, we're going to look for no less than 500 new buyers, and we'll keep the parameter of this day. Additionally, we'll add in our security score just like before, and then run query. This time we can see that we're met with a much shorter list, much more strictly defining what we're looking for. Like before, we can save this query as well. This time giving it the title low cap 500 new buyers Returning to the Moralis Money main page, we can see that it's now listed among our other saved queries, and we have the option to enable alerts, again specifying our email. Now, so far we've established 2 alerts on the Ethereum mainnet and 1 on Polygon. We could duplicate this alert now for Polygon as well. However, if we do, we're not likely to see many coins on it because the per-day activity on Polygon is not as strong as Ethereum. For that reason, let's consider a slight adjustment instead. Here we'll select the Token Explorer again and Polygon, and continuing with our standard initial metrics, market cap less than 50 million, experienced buyers, this time selecting increased by 200 this day. And then finally, specifying the same security score parameter. Running a query reveals 2 coins, somewhat consistent with what we found at the 500 buyers threshold on Ethereum. This indicates that we may have found a comparable query on Polygon, and something else also worth monitoring. Let's go ahead and save it, specifying the name low cap 200 buyers today Polygon, and save query. Now we can see that all 4 queries have been established. Clicking the alert button and moving the slider to select which interval we prefer, and then start monitoring. That wraps up our short introduction tutorial on setting up a blanket alert strategy, monitoring multiple networks along similar parameters with adjustments based on the amount of activity on that specific network. You could expand this even further, including more of the networks that are supported by Moralis Money and adjusting the parameters just a little bit more to make sense for each network. How you set this up at the end of the day is really up to you, but no matter what your strategy is, there's a way to apply this and these alerts to what you're doing in order to help you make more money and find more success in these crypto markets. See everybody in the next video.